The AutoCAD Lab is located in the basement of Kerr Hall on Ryerson campus. The layout of Kerr Hall is almost impossible to navigate because of unclear signage and the building's layout. The CAD Lab is only available to fashion and interior design students for their computer needs as they require extensive hours with specific software. The CAD Lab is the only computer lab on campus that supplies the program needed for interior design students. We selected the CAD Lab because it is the most important and frequently used space for all interior design students, at least conducive to a creative process. The lab has 36 computers for a faculty of roughly 400 students in interior design program alone, not including the needs of fashion school. As the most heavily used classroom in a creative program, the space doesn't follow the basic psychological principles and theories presented in our psychology class. 5 things that currently work in the design. 1. The proxemics make sense for the given tasks of the space. The computers are approximately 2 feet away from each other, falling within the personal space boundaries. Since the users are very familiar with each other, this feels satisfactory. 2. The design considers sound migration as its location within a basement and on Victoria Street, a small pedestrian-only campus walkway. 3. The lack of exterior stimulation because of the locked door results in a focused environment. 4. The room is accessible for people in wheelchairs as there is ramp leading to the room and 66 turning areas. 5. Since a small classroom encourages active participation, the scale of the room is appreciative for the collaboration and creative problem solving. 5 negative flaws. 1. The space is very limited natural light as a result of bared up, opaque glass that is covered by exterior overgrown foliage which doesn't overprotect refugee. 2. The dated overhead fluorescent lighting combined with the bright blue glow from the computer screens creates an overstimulating high-level amount of artificial lighting resulting in attentional fatigue. 3. The workstations are non-flexible workspaces that are fixed to the floor and don't adapt to the user. 4. The lack of color is understimulating and clinical. The dull and repetitive palette lowers our energy levels and mood. 5. Since the windows are bolted shut and the only door must remain closed, otherwise an alarm will sound, the air and temperature are controlled by an HVAC system that is covered in dust and it's outdated. 9 suggested environmental improvements are: 1. Adding better windows that allow for natural light and views of nature will result in increased productivity and concentration by providing quick restorative experiences as per Kaplan's attention restoration theory. 2. Replace flickering bad quality lights with higher quality, high frequency ballasts, limiting unwanted arousal to the optimal point for increased performance as stated in the Yerkes-Dodson law. 3. From an arousal perspective, less intense overall lighting from one overhead source will limit environmental load of the students. 4. Task light and control over screen brightness will increase control over individual spaces. This limits constraints on a person's environment to improve their mood and prevent the possibility of feeling helpless over time. As studied by Langer and Rodden, the UEIF also states that perceived personal control over environments increases pleasurable feelings. By giving students control over their space, they will have a more comfortable and overall positive response. 5. Windows that open would provide fresh air and would improve ventilation and limit symptoms of sick building syndrome, resulting in a healthier and more energizing workplace. 6. The introduction of greenery and desk plants into the space can signify improved students' memory and productivity, as shown by Norwegian studies. 7. A U-shaped layout would allow the teacher to move in the middle of the classroom, resulting in increased equality between students and teacher, leading to active engagement and confidence in the classroom. 8. The done-and-done learning style model demonstrates that limiting behavioral constraints would allow for students to adapt to their specific preference and therefore improve their success. Flexibility in furniture, heights, and layout would allow for the adaptation needed for comfort and contentment. 9. Since color choice influences behavior and learning comprehension, introducing color within the space will help to release helpful hormones from the hypothalamus to regulate mood, mental clarity, and energy levels.